So my business went great until it failed. My parents were telling people I was still a lawyer, because they're Asian. But I've been bitten by the bug, and I said, okay, I want to try and get better at building things. So I worked for a series of small growth companies and became the CEO of an education company that grew to become #1 in the United States and was bought by a big public company in 2009. Now, 2009 was a very tough time in a lot of the country. How was it in this part of New Hampshire?
Sucked.
Miserable, sucked, terrible. So it was terrible in a lot of the country, and I thought I had some insight as to why the financial crisis had unfolded. It was because so many of the wannabe whiz kids I had gone to Exeter and Brown and Columbia with had gone to Wall Street and come up with these exotic financial instruments and derivatives that had helped crash our economy. So I said, okay, that's a train wreck. Let's try and have people not do that anymore. And so what would you prefer that they do? And the vision I had, because entrepreneurship had been so important for me, was we need to train more of our young people to become business builders and job creators in communities like Providence or Detroit, or Cleveland or Baltimore. So I quit my job, and I'm gonna give a shout out, after I explain Venture for America, Alex, I'll give you a shout out. So if you're a young, recent college graduate and you go home to your parents and say, I wanna go to law school, your parents will probably think it's a great idea, it's easy to find, and the government will give you $100,000 in loans, no questions asked. If you decide you want to start a business, your parents will probably say that's a terrible idea, very hard to find, and no one will give you a $100,000 loan. So we have this massive oversupply of indebted law school graduates, as one example, and an undersupply of people building businesses in communities around the country. So this, to me, was the antidote to the financial crisis. So I quit my job, I donated some money to start a new organization, Venture for America, and I started calling rich friends with this question: do you love America? The smart among them said, what does it mean if I say yes? And I said, at least $10,000. And then 12 of them said, I love America for $10,000. It's like, I thought you did. So we started with a couple $100,000, went into the millions, eventually helped create thousands of jobs in cities around the country. In Detroit, Cleveland, Birmingham, New Orleans, St. Louis, and around the country. And Alex here just joined Venture for America class of 2019. He's in Pittsburgh.